So in this video, we will look at the difference between the two functions that you can potentially use to get a string input for your C program. Now in this video here, we've got this file that is defining two variables, A, B, C, E, F, G, two strings, and then we're just clearing the screen to give us a clean screen to run the program. And the first statement says enter scanf input. So we're going to use the scanf function with an asterisk and see how that looks like, because if you use a return escape key, then it'll be exactly the same. This statement is going to be exactly the same as the gets function. Both will take strings, multiple words with spaces in them, and stop at the carriage return or enter. But to make this function different from gets function, we will make it stop at any key that you like, and it's going to keep on scanning until you put in this key. So let's see that. And we'll have to put in a get char because it's not going to capture the carriage return, versus the gets function will capture the carriage return. So let's run this program. Need to go to my directory, and then in here we have this program called Scanf. We'll compile this and run it. So let me make it darker. Enter scanf input, hello world space. Now use the space here. How are you? And then to basically stop the input, we're going to have to use this special character that we put in there. Enter gets input, hello world. There you go. And it says scanf input is hello world, comma, how are you? Just like how we inputted it. And in the gets, it stops at the carriage return. So if you don't want to take multi-line input, then you can use gets input, which would take spaces and stop at the carriage return that we did here. But if you want your C program to take multiple lines, then you can modify the scanf that we looked at in the previous video and put in a stock character that of your liking. Let's change this to say +. Compile it, run it, enter scanf hello world, how are you? I am doing good. Hello world. Do you see that? The scanf input is hello world, how are you? I'm doing good. Multi-line input, which you cannot do in the gets input. So that's very powerful of the scan input if you want to take multi-line, if your use case requires a multi-line input. But otherwise, you can use gets for a multi-word input that would stop at the carriage return. Hope this helps.